How we doing, everybody? My name is Russell Sullivan, and today I'm going to be discussing the gun violence in America and why we need to resolve this issue as soon as possible. I'm showing you this picture. The reason being is because I need you to realize how horrific this really is and why we need to resolve this issue as soon as possible. Now, as you take a look at this picture, please just gaze and think to yourself and ask yourself, how does this make you feel? According to the Neighborhood Scouting Report, crime rate in St. Louis is at 18.25%. And according to Guilford's Law Centers Online, there's approximately 36,383 people who suffer due to gun violence in America yearly. Also, according to the West Side Gazette, gun violence is the #1 cause of deaths of black children in America. See, I've done my research on this topic because I want to help resolve the issue of gun violence in the ghettos and in America. And I believe that we can achieve this by reaching out, attempting to find a common interest that all parties can agree upon in order to achieve this goal. We have discussed the issues concerning gun violence in the ghettos of America. Now let's discuss issues concerning gun violence. Gun violence is a huge issue in America. Each year, according to Guilford's Law Centers, there are 22,274 gun suicides. There are 12,830 gun homicides. It's 496 law enforcement killings, 487 unintentional deaths, and 295 undetermined deaths in America. According to the Neighborhood Scouting Report online, St. Louis crime rate is at 18.25%. Also, according to the Guilford Law Centers online, there's approximately 36,383 Americans who suffer due to gun violence yearly. And according to the West Side Gazette online, gun violence is the numero uno cause of deaths of black children in America. Through communication and establishing a common interest, people can come together on the basis of what they have in common. Because of gun violence, there's approximately 36,383 deaths according to the Guilford Law Centers. And they imply that gun violence is the #1 cause of deaths of black children in America. People have to communicate to come to a mutual agreement to where people and the governmental authorities can live together in peace. By establishing common interests, people can make change in their communities, creating solutions to solve issues which occur. Meeting this goal through communication and common interest. Let's take a look at some solutions, since we all know that gun violence is a huge problem in America and needs to be resolved as soon as possible. In order to establish a solution, people must communicate with those who cause the gun violence, like gang leaders, by setting up meetings to learn the interests of that leader in order to establish a common goal. By using similar tactics to that of Malcolm X in his speech, "Anything is necessary," people can achieve and unite together in peace through establishing common interests. In 1964, Malcolm X made his speech, "By any means necessary, uniting blacks by having a common enemy." By establishing a common goal, using similar tactics, communities today can band together to stop violence through common goals and common interests. If people could band together for common interests in 1964, people should be able to establish similar effects today through communication in order to stop violence in America. Now that we have discussed some issues, now that we have discussed some solutions to gun violence, now let's discuss some benefits of stopping violence, stopping gun violence. There's so many actions people can take in order to stop gun violence in America, such as interacting with people in poverty, talking to children in schools, creating jobs of interest for teens and adults. This will result in less gun violence in the ghettos, possibly saving over 36,383 lives. Communicating with gang leaders and people in communities, attempting to find a common interest to establish common grounds. This way, people and the government can establish a common goal of stopping gun violence in the ghettos of America. See, we all have friends and families and children that we all want to keep safe. Establishing common interests will result in less gun violence, also resulting in less deaths due to gun violence. Imagine a world where people could come together in peace and harmony. A safe world for children and adults. Being able to go to school or work, not worried about an accidental shooting or an accidental death due to gun violence. We done talked about gun violence. The homicide rate of 12,830 deaths and the different actions that people can take, like establishing common interests in order to stop gun violence in his or her communities. Taking similar action steps to that of Malcolm X in 1964, establishing a common interest where people can unite on the basis of what they have in common. This is how we can unite, on the basis of what we have in common. Through setting up a meeting with gang leaders and also people in communities, people can resolve issues such as gun violence. Through communication and investing in poor communities, creating jobs and activities for children, teens, and adults, establishing common grounds and interests to stop violence in the ghettos of America. In succeeding doing this, we can save the lives of the children from gun violence in the ghettos of America. Thank you.